just want to say thank you to all the first responders and all the essential workers and all the frontline workers for what they're doing, and especially in this pandemic time. We just want to wish everyone a safe and happy day. We will see you next time. Thank you again. We are in Montana and Missoula, Montana. Yeah. Thank you.
Live from the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by XTO Energy, a subsidiary of ExxonMobil. It's the Siesta Edition. Live and direct from the home studio near Shreveport, Louisiana, and studios of Public Access Channel 27 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are the hosts of Balloon Fiesta Live, Siesta Edition, Glen Moyer and Lloyd Jr.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening and welcome. It is Special Shapes Rodeo Glodio coming up on Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by XTO. I'm Glen Moyer, live in Louisiana. And outside of my monitor there in Albuquerque is my good buddy and our executive producer, Lloyd Jr. Good evening, Art.
Good evening. I see you got the dress code memo tonight. Got the right shirt on.
Yeah, my inbox was a little slow on the clothing memo this morning, so
hey, that's
we got caught up.
Well, and yeah, we joke about that because these shirts were actually from 2018, and that's the footage that we're highlighting, the year we're highlighting today, both this morning in our Special Shapes Rodeo, tonight in the Glodio, and so and we've got some great stuff, extra new stuff for you as well tonight. We're headed, we've got our camera person out to a pop-up glow that's taking place out in Rio Rancho tonight.
Oh, cool.
So we have
Just promise me we won't go too deep into the closet. We don't want to tell people how many years back we have these shirts.
It was kind of an accident that I just pulled this one out, and I realized it this morning when I put it on. But the other new exciting thing, you know, we talked with Lisa Mulder, our merchandise manager, this morning. And
yes,
you asked her about stuff, and she said she's always got things, you know, up her sleeve, ready to go. Well, guess what? She dropped a new item tonight. Like two minutes ago.
Yeah, we need a klaxon or a bell or something, you know, ding, 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 new item, yeah.
And so here's what it is. It is the third in the series of Siesta pins, limited edition, collector's item pins. It's the copper color. We're calling it bronze to go with the gold, silver, and bronze color that we have now. Bronze, yeah. To go with that set there, it is now for sale on balloonfiestastuff.com. Numbered, only 200 of them.
Only 200, just like the others.
Only one per person.
Yeah, we had some people when we launched the silver coin earlier this week who were trying to double down and go in and buy multiples. And the suspicion, of course, is that some of those would later show up on eBay or whatever, people trying to profiteer off of them. And so we're not allowing that. So if you try to order more than one, it won't go through. Or if it does, it'll go back and cancel it out. Yep. So you can only get, I have a live guest already tonight. So you'll only have a chance to get one. So don't bother trying to order more than one. Just, settle for the one you can get.
Yeah, call your friends, text your friends, have them place an order. Get everybody to place an order. And
get your whole crew to order one each, and then if someone doesn't want one, you can have a couple. But really only need one for the collections. Yeah.
And of course, you notice the other pin that was right next to that was the Balloon Fiesta Live pin. That's the
right.
2020 version. And there are like less than 30 of the 2019 version available. So you can get both of those, and they're on sale for $5. It's our logo with the year down here, so it's a great deal on the Balloon Fiesta Live pins. You're going to want to get those. Besides, the more of the 2020 we sell, the better chance we are of having 2021 Balloon Fiesta Live pins. Because we got to sell these before we can make more.
Absolutely, and we should note that, we're not just hawking goods to be hawking goods in our QVC segment here. We actually, all of the proceeds from these sales, Balloon Fiesta is, of course, a nonprofit corporation. And as a result of not having a Balloon Fiesta this year, a live event, obviously the coffers are taking a huge hit. And as we move toward the 50th year now in 2022, every sale we make here tonight really helps to support our ongoing efforts our ongoing efforts to the 49th and the 50th coming up. Now you can't decide if he wants up or down.
That's it. You put them on TV and they just, you can't do anything with them.
Yeah, he's already asking for a green room and refreshments, I'm having a hard time with him.
Hey, buy more pins so that we can, pay royalty fees to Ranger.
Right, there you go. And while we're just setting things up here tonight, a quick shout out to Lauren from my tax accountant's office. We were on the phone immediately after this morning's show resolving some last minute income tax revenue issues. And she mentioned that she and her daughter might be, when she found out about the broadcast, she mentioned she and her daughter might be watching tonight. So if they are, hey, Lauren, and thanks for your help today. Hope you and your daughter are enjoying the show tonight.
And I saw a couple of pictures today from a couple of young fans up in Colorado Springs. They were watching us today, drawing and coloring balloon pictures, making their own balloon cards, as it were, and just having a great old time. I also understand they're big pin collectors. So hi to those fans up in Colorado Springs. Hopefully they're still up watching tonight as well. But I think we ought to get to some balloons and some glow preparation and all that stuff here tonight. So in 2019, 1 year ago tonight, the wind was incredibly high. We canceled all the activities early on in the day. What we ended up doing was a quick little recap of America's Challenge gas balloon race, which had just ended. So we can't show you any special shapes Glodio from Thursday of last year. But we had a great year in 2018. So we're going to bring you footage tonight from 2018. And like all of our evening events, the glows and the glodios, they all get started with fast tracks jumping in from the sky in their skydive performance. So let's take a look and see how it played out.
Yeah, a moment ago they texted out that the pilot briefing for our special shaped pilots is over. And they are headed out to put up the green flag. Can't quite see whether it is green or not, partly because no matter what color flag they put up, the winds are so light it just kind of hangs limp on the pole.
I was looking earlier and I couldn't see it, so although I suppose if I grab my binoculars from Canon, maybe I could solve that problem. Let's see.
Well, there it is. Look at that shot. It's the green flag right off the top. You can barely see it over the top of the main stage there.
I hate it when our production guys steal our thunder. But yes, now that I have my Canon binoculars on, and you're right, the reason you can't see it is because all the other evenings this year, it's been starched.
Standing straight out. Not tonight.
Been blowing in the wind, literally, and tonight it's just hanging there, which is a great sign. That's what we want to see.
Well, look how stable the Cannon balloon is. Johnny Petrin and Cannon there, just standing up nice and still. There is no wobble, no rocking and rolling, and definitely a change from the last few evenings that we've had here. So now that is basically the signal for pilots to go ahead and lay out and cold inflate and hot inflate their special shapes, and we'll get our Glodio underway here. So we have most of our special shapes, it looks like, at least from what I can see, standing up now. We've mentioned a number of them just coming out of the screen we have there. Our Snowbird, there's Buzzy Bee, there's the back end of the Stork, formerly known as Great Expectations.
Yep.
I see Coco in the center there. There's Annie, the ladybug in there, and the planes. Here comes one of the bees standing up. The orange back there would be Beagle Maximus. The black arms coming out of the yellow and blue balloon, that would be Lindy. And I see the ex-con in the stripes and the what do they call those numbers? Prison numbers that you have there?
Yeah, prison numbers.
That's probably his registration number there, but always have those. Then there's the black one with the barbed wire. That would be the POWMIA balloon. There's, yep, and we keep moving around. I see the infamous foot, the shoe in the background there, the green.
Yeah, and the story behind that is at one time it was the famous footwear shoe, and you probably know the name brand Famous Footwear, but once the corporate sponsorship went away, rather than have to take all that art off of the balloon, they just added a little art to it to make it the infamous foot, and the balloon, of course, still flying.
There's Annie, the ladybug, giving us a nice look, and kind of looking behind there. There's the back end of Spidey Pig. I also see the kind of the gray with the black there. That's 1 down, 8 to go. One of our cat balloons.
One of our cat balloons. Is Cutie Dink out tonight?
She is. She's almost straight out in front of us. Uncle Sam's in the center of the picture there. There's Bidoo.
There is Sushi. That is the little fish balloon of Katie Griggs from Reno.
We talked about Hamlet, the pink balloon on the left side of the screen there, and the can't really call them Tom and Jerry because of copyright issues.
Right.
But there's the is that the Tom side of the?
Yeah, that's the Tom side. Tom was the cat,
right?
Jerry the mouse, and so that's the Tom side. That's the cat side.
And looks like right between Hamlet and the balloon we just talked about there, that appears to be Albert Einstein, one of the smart owls.
Of the owls. Yeah, one of the two owl
just
balloons.
Kind of seeing the side of that one. We're just kind of picking it out of the middle there.
The one that you saw right there in front of Bidoo, the blue dog, and Sushi that had the musical notes around the bottom, that is the balloon Saxon. There it is, just in the lower right corner of the screen, which is the flying saxophone balloon. There you see the musical staff around the bottom of the balloon as it stands up. It's a saxophone that kind of has a person trapped inside it, I think.
Yep. And there's Kermie.
And we have Cymbaloo, the lion here from Longleat. This is our other lion. We have lots of twos of lots of things here this year, don't we?
We do.
We have at least we have 3 dogs. We went through this before. I should make notes. We have 2 lions. We have 3 penguins, 4 penguins.
There's Pirate Jack on the left side of the screen there.
So,
and I see
Pirate Jack needs to be down with a Peg Leg Pete, so we'd have a pirate and a pirate and his parrot. Whew, almost blew that.
There's Humpty Dumpty.
And Coco the Clown just right beside Humpty.
And I believe I'm not sure. I think the gray one that's in there, that would probably be the 1 down, 8 to go. And I'm wondering if the black one with the little gray circles on there might be Cynthia Seal.
Might be. There's the bottom of Chickaboom.
And Buzzy Bee.
And is that Buzzy
I think
Bee
that's
right
Buzzy.
There?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, that's something else. You have to pull out a little bit further for us to see. It is Chickaboom. There's Humpty. And what is this? We're pulling out the camera. What is that we're going to see?
The ladybug.
Oh, that's the ladybug.
Yep,
okay.
That's the ladybug.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, and I see the emoji off to the right is just in there.
Hi,
Looks like we're going to have a great shot of Hamlet tonight. Oh, he's far enough out to the west here.
Yeah, like we haven't seen him yet. There is Tall Steve and one of his parents. That would be Splash, the little girl. And somewhere out there is Puddles. I see Wes the Wolf in that shot. All of those balloons come from Longleat from the Sky Safari over in merry old England. Andrew Holly and his company, Exclusive Ballooning, bringing those balloons to us. There is Beagle Maximus, And thank goodness we're seeing the Beagle end and not the Maximus end that we normally get to see.
I did see Bila in there, still laying on his back, not quite hot inflated yet from Doug Grimes.
Polar
the little bear.
Yep, from Doug Grimes.
Saw that in the previous shot.
There's our that's our bulldog right there behind Lindy, isn't it? I think. That,
yes, I think it
kind
is.
Of beige and brown. I think that was the bulldog.
There's
and there's
Arabelle.
Arabelle, the Creamland Dairy Cow. Scotty Appleman rather, telling us this morning that's still one of his favorite balloons. And I like the observation he made because it's the perfect special shape caricature that has the fun and excitement of special shapes that delivers a commercial message. It is sponsored, of course,
it all
by
ties
Creamland.
together just perfectly.
It's a wonderful tying together of providing a corporate message and a selling message with a great fun character.
Yes.
And Arabelle, for years and years and years, I don't know if we still do it or not, but we used to have, you could vote on site if you were
we
here.
haven't done that in a few
years. And you could vote for your special shape. And Arabelle was always among the top 3, if not number 1. Always a fan favorite.
It is indeed always a fan favorite.
It is. Yeah.
And
it's always a fan favorite especially when they fly Arabelle, and very often on special shape days, there might be enough. How do I say this? The winds might be light enough to allow the balloons to inflate and stand up, but for some of those really big shapes, there may be too much wind for them to free fly. So on those occasions when they actually free fly Arabelle and some of those other really giant special shapes, it's really exciting, and Arabelle's always been a crowd favorite for years and years and years.
And you remember when it first showed up, it actually had a crescent moon that hung beneath the basket. So,
yes.
I mean, it's already bad enough that the feet are lower than the basket, but then to have that moon underneath, that was only around for a year or so. And if you remember that, I know we have someone else who remembers that because we have one of the past owners of Arabelle with us tonight, something I didn't know until tonight, Beth Wright-Smith, who is a professional balloon pilot here in Albuquerque, longtime corporate pilot, has flown all kinds of special shapes and all kinds of places. She runs a Part 141 ground school or flight school, which means she can teach you how to fly. And she's also a designated pilot examiner, so she can give you that big check ride at the end. Beth, thanks for coming down and joining us here in the studios of Balloon Fiesta Live tonight. Boy, that's a long the history we've got there. Let's start. Talk about Arabelle. What was it like flying Arabelle?
Arabelle was fun, but if you were coming down fast, you had to have a passenger with you because you had to have somebody to push the legs away or they would go into the burner.
Oh.
And you couldn't see that well either, so.
Well, we know that the legs hang lower than the basket there, so the whole idea of that is kind of interesting. How did you end up getting that balloon, and what was the deal? What was the circumstances?
The company that owned it in Canada was selling it. They were going off to do other things, and so we bought both Arabelle and the dinosaur balloon, which it hasn't been in Albuquerque as much as Arabelle. And so we had it for a few years and continued to fly for Creamland and had a good time.
Talking about Arabelle, Beth, by the way, hi, this is Glen. Is reminding me how much I miss their chocolate milk, because Art will tell you I live off of their chocolate milk when I'm out there at Balloon Fiesta up on the tower. Tell me a little bit about the difficulties or the nuances, I should say, of flying special shapes. You talked about how Arabelle's legs hit the ground first, and I remember I never flew Arabelle, but I did have the opportunity to fly the polar bear one year, and scared myself to death because as we came in for a landing, I wasn't prepared for it. The legs touched the ground first, and as we were skimming along, you heard this sound, and I immediately started looking for a propane leak until I realized it was the sound of the legs of the balloon dragging across the stubble field that we were in. So what are some of the nuances that you have to be aware of as a pilot flying a special shape that don't come into play in a regular balloon?
Well, every special shape has its own little quirks, and so you have to figure out what they are, what things work, what things don't. So Arabelle, you had to make sure that the legs were out of the way, and we inflated those separately or they would just hang limp. The Wells Fargo Stagecoach, which I flew for about 13 years, was square, and so it did not stop in the wind even a little bit because it would hit the bottom of hit the bottom of that square bottom end, and it wouldn't knock the air out of it. It just dragged forever. I just flew Smokey Bear this past weekend, and we landed going 10 knots, and I knew it was going to take a lot of room, so I worked and worked and worked until I got to a place big enough to land it, and we did drag 150 feet because the brim of Smokey's hat won't deflate. So every special shape has some weird thing you've got to figure out before you get in the wind, especially, but just getting them up and getting them down and packed up, they all fly differently. So it's one of the things you have to figure out as you go from balloon to balloon to balloon.
So when you switch from a regular round-shaped balloon to one of those special shapes, is there a big adjustment when you pop in? You know, you can get in one car, move to another one, and most of the stuff's kind of there, but there's still a little adjustment. I guess it's a bigger one with shapes versus regular shapes.
Oh, a huge difference. The first shape I flew was a can, and again, it's flat on the bottom, so I flew it several times when it wasn't windy, and then we took to Wells Fargo. My brain is stuck there, I guess. Maxwell House coffee cans, we took them to the Calgary Olympics and flew them several more times when it wasn't windy, and then we had about 15 knots, and I think the only thing that stopped us was because we scooped so much snow into the basket, unfortunately also down my passenger's neck, that we finally stopped. The basket was half full of snow by the time we quit. And it dragged a long ways compared to what I was expecting. And so every shape has an adjustment, and that was a pretty easy to fly shape. A can isn't that bad, except that they don't stop in the wind. So you have to figure all those things out, and I didn't go from regular shape balloon to a humongous special shape like Arabelle. I did that over time, several different balloons in between that weren't quite as complicated. Whereas one of the pilots that's been flying with Wells Fargo for, I'm not sure how long he's been with us, probably 6 years now, he went from flying relatively small balloons to all of a sudden learning to fly the Stagecoach, and that was a big adjustment. I'd been flying large ride balloons before that, so that was a bigger adjustment for him, I think, than it was for me.
One of the nuances that we talked about on this morning's program was the larger number of crew that you have to use, Beth, with special shapes, and it's particularly in your case, being a commercial pilot and being on the road a lot representing your sponsor, you don't have the luxury of traveling with the same 4 or 5 people that a sport balloonist might take from rally to rally to rally. You have to rely on, I would assume, sometimes the organizer, sometimes your sponsor, sometimes people out of the crowd. So talk a little bit about the difficulty or the differences in controlling and organizing and working with a team that large, and particularly when a lot of times it'll be people who've never done balloon crewing before that are that seeing you in your big corporate special shape is the first time they've been up close and personal with a balloon.
Yeah, corporate, whether it was a regular shape or a special shape, was a whole different animal, because we would travel with one experienced crew person with a regular shape and only 2 with the bigger shapes. And so frequently we would have brand new people. So having good crew was absolutely critical, and we had absolutely amazing crew on every flight that I did. And they did most of the crew training with brand new people, and the Wells Fargo Stagecoach had 20 people minimum, and so they were frequently working with new people as we went to a new event. Now, the positive thing was that really frequently when we went to an event more than once, we'd get a lot of the same people coming back because they had so much fun doing it. So it was always nice to be able to have the same crew come out again, where they actually did remember something from year to year, even if they hadn't been out in the meantime. But good crew chiefs were absolutely a lifesaver when we were traveling.
Let's switch gears just a little bit here from the shapes to more of a corporate pilot, which could be shapes or could be regular. What is life like as a corporate pilot, flying for a corporation and having to go put those balloons up all kinds of places and things like that?
Well, most of the time, if we were going to an event, they had an idea what we needed. If we were going to a corporate event, sometimes that got a little touchy because they didn't really understand what our parameters were. We actually had one corporate guy, we went to San Antonio, Texas in April. It's windy. So he didn't really quite understand why we weren't flying, and we finally got a day that was marginal, and we went up, and I was trying to warn him and his passengers ahead of time it was going to be bumpy, and he just really wasn't getting it until then. And we had several more incidents like that where he said at one point, "I think you're just trying to take our money and not do any work." And I said, "You really think I want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do nothing?" No, that is not the case. Sometimes we just couldn't explain it, and we would have to actually start the fan. We called it a fluff and fuss, where we would put the person that was complaining and insisting that we put the balloon up on the mouth, and when it jerked them around enough, then they figured out why we couldn't do it. But you couldn't explain it sometimes.
They just had to see it.
Yeah, some corporations were great. You know, if you said this isn't a good day, they went, "Oh, well, okay." But some places did not.
What about when you're out on the road and you're driving usually marked vehicles? You are almost 24/7 a representative of the company whose balloon you're flying as a corporate pilot. You almost always have to be on your P's and Q's. I mean, you can't let road rage in the middle of an interstate highway get to you when a guy cuts you off or turns in front of you or something like that. I would think you really have to have a certain demeanor to be a successful corporate pilot. Would you say that's true?
Yes, I'd say that's absolutely true. We did a lot of marketing for the corporations we flew for at gas stations when we were filling up, and people would come over and talk to us and ask questions. And even while traveling, I would wear some sort of corporate shirt. Not everybody did, but I did because of those situations. And we went to an event once in New York where the entire thing was weathered out. But we did a couple TV interviews. We drove around all over town with the Chase Commander with their logo on the side. And they still got a lot of publicity out of it and had us back the next year because it still raised their sales even though the balloon never left the truck.
One of the questions we get every year, Beth, is how do I get into ballooning? How do I become a pilot and that kinds of things? And we tell them, first off, go get on a crew and kind of learn about ballooning that way. But when they really get ready to be serious about getting their pilot certificate, one of the ways to do that is to go to a flight school. You run one. Can you tell us a little bit about what's involved in learning to fly?
Yeah, there's only 4 Part 141 flight schools for balloons in the country, which is an amazingly small number. But it's a lot of extra paperwork, and a lot of people don't like that. But we actually do have a curriculum as opposed to maybe your friend who has a pilot certificate, commercial pilot, and says, "Well, yeah, I'll teach you to fly if you crew for me enough." And we actually have a plan, so we can do it on a reduced number of flights typically. But again, it's weather dependent. It's one of the most weather dependent things you can fly, and sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate. Last year was horrible. But it's a very precise, planned curriculum, and we know exactly what we need to cover. We've been doing it long enough that we can adapt to different types of students because everybody learns differently. Some people bring their own balloons, some people learn in ours. People have commented several times on how beat up my baskets look. It's like, well, I'm flying with students. They don't always they land that well at the beginning. It takes a while. But I love it. It's great. I have a lot of fun instructing new pilots.
We've talked a lot this week, Beth, about what makes Albuquerque magical for Balloon Fiesta. What makes it and I would assume maybe it's some of the same things that make it a good place to learn to fly and to become a pilot through a school like yours?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. It's getting more congested in Albuquerque area, as everyone knows. It's been flying here the past few years. But we still have quite a variety of weather. You can learn to land with nice, easy stand-up landings. You can learn to land in the wind. And we start out on the mesa where there's not a lot of things to hit other than maybe cactus. and we work our way to where by the time they're working on their commercial certificate, we're launching from Balloon Fiesta Park or along the river where there's not very many landing places anymore. So they get a wide variety of conditions, as opposed to some places that it's light winds all the time and they're in the middle of nowhere, and they get into town and they just totally flip out because they've never done it before. So that's one of the reasons that it's good to learn to fly here, is the variety of weather and available places to learn.
Not only the available number of days. We were joking last night, I think, or this morning. We talk about flying 300 days out of 361 days here, so most days are definitely flyable. Beth Wright-Smith, professional balloon pilot, corporate pilot, owner of Airborne Heat, the Part 141 flight school for balloons, and just an all-around good person and friend. Thanks for joining us, Beth. By the way, a lot of folks saying hi to you on our YouTube and Facebook pages as well. Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beth.
So, good stuff there. And so now let's go see what a special shaped glow really looks like. And this is footage from 2018. Take a look.
Here we go.
Everyone, here we go. The first all burn of the night. This is an all burn. Count with us, please. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn.
Pilots all burn. And as usual, well, there's
most of them got it.
some of them getting it, yeah.
Our drone is up, giving us a nice shot of the Glodio tonight. That's going to be a great shot.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's an awesome shot.
While we have that shot, let's sneak in another all burn right away.
We'll try again.
Another all burn. Let's do it in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn.
Pilots, light them up.
There we go.
There you go. We're beginning to get the word out.
There's a great shot of the burner putting heat into the Hunter boot.
And again, those of you at home, it is not that light. I mean, that looks like it's daylight out there, and it's not. It's dark tonight. So
it is.
It's
but our
there's a better sense of, to a certain extent, of how dark it is when you see the wonderful shot from the drone there from Colibri Cam.
I think we're ready for another all burn.
Well, all right, let's try another.
She wants to do a twinkle.
Well,
let's do an all burn.
Let's do an all burn.
We'll do an all burn. We'll get your twinkle.
Yeah, let's do an all
2
burn.
2 to 1. You're about voted, Melissa.
That's it. Hey,
all burn.
It's our show. We're in charge. Step away from the radio, lady.
Oh, and all burn. Again, we need everyone to help us count with us, please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn.
Light them up, pilots. Yeah, a little delayed action there, but there we go.
Some of that is the feed from the drone by the time that gets through to us.
Yes, yeah,
there
of course.
Is a second or two delay in that
and there's
feed.
looking right up the Hunter boot. Look at that.
Oh, what a great shot.
Way up to the top there. One of the several brand new special shapes are here. Ed Chapman is the pilot, the gentleman you see pulling the lines clear there. Give in
Twinkle
to Melissa
glow
real
or a
quickly.
flicker burn here. Now, you know, this is a great time for those of you on the field here to set your cameras to the video mode.
Yes.
So this is a perfect time to put those cameras in video mode because the burners are going to go on and off in a fairly rapid sequence.
The idea is to make the balloons twinkle just like you're watching a flickering, or flicker like you're watching a flickering flame atop a candle.
So a twinkle or flicker glow, please.
Say that again.
Flicker glow. You didn't think I could do that twice in a row, did you?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You're good, guy. You're good.
Hey,
All
flicker,
right.
twinkle glow for us. Let's count it down. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flicker.
Flicker, twinkle, whatever. Look at that shot.
Yeah.
That drone shot is just awesome. And this is the first time we've ever had a drone working with us here at Balloon Fiesta. It is authorized, the only drone authorized by Fiesta. If you're flying a drone and you're within 4 miles of Balloon Fiesta Park, you're actually flying illegally.
So let's do an all burn here. We're going to see if we can give you a shot of what it looks like right there from a balloon. An all burn, pilots, in 10, 9, 2, 1, all burn.
Now the word's getting out. Look at that. Looks good even from our vantage point.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, let's go.
All right. Flicker burn, please, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flickers. Yeah.
I've got a great shot on video right here where you can see the monitor in my shot as well as the balloons actually out on the field.
Excellent. Excellent. Great camera work by our Windfire production folks, not only on the camera angles and shots, but keeping the cameras shaded. That's the technical term there, so that we get nice great views. As you said, it's really dark out here. When they're not burning, we can't actually see the balloons from our stage. We're watching them on the monitor, just like those of you on the feed might be watching us.
That's right. Oh, there's the spider.
Itsy bitsy. Yep. Preventive Pest Control, Don Moyer with the big black widow on the side of that balloon. New special shape last year for us. And you know, the other thing that is going on here is the balloons are lighting up because they are putting yellow flame into the
we really
envelopes.
Haven't talked about the difference in the burner. Most of the pilots here have burners that will burn the propane in one of two ways. One is when we normally fly, we burn the propane as a vaporized gas.
Yes.
And it gives us a very powerful but thin blue pencil-like flame.
Yes.
And that's the balloon, the flame that we use mostly when we're flying. But for glows, most of the pilots have a burner that will allow them to burn the propane as just a raw liquid.
Right.
And that produces a very ugly, ragged, yellow, but very bright flame as opposed to on the main blast valve. And so that's what we're using to light the balloons with. Most of the pilots burning the propane as just a pure liquid, creating that bright yellow flame that helps to light the balloons up so well.
Just like with your barbecue grill, you don't really want the yellow flame when you're cooking because blue is the efficient,
right?
Which is why we fly it that way. But for lighting it up, we want the inefficient use of the propane. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all burn.
There's Peg Leg glowing nicely, and Blue Chair Bay, the rum balloon that was a sponsor of the recent Kenny Chesney concert. Blow Kehoe is on board as the pilot there. And you can see bits of the crowd. Obviously, folks having a great time wandering around down there amongst the balloons.
Brad Tiemeyer, our weather guy, is requesting a flicker burn.
Well,
so we're taking requests here. And since he gave us good weather tonight.
Because he gets it right once this, where are you? Because you get it right once this week, now you want favors?
He's got it right, so we're going to oblige Brad and give you guys a flicker burn.
All right, let's
flicker
do
burn,
a flicker
pilots.
now.
Flicker.
In twin.
In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flickers.
Flicker burns. Hey, Brad left again. That guy gets around in a hurry.
He's just bouncing around.
Oh, I was going to say, he's taking a
he
picture,
got up close.
You ought to come see the shot off the drone here. It's awesome. Take a look at this real quick. See the drone picture? Isn't that incredible?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, all burn.
There's that amazing drone shot again for those of you online. Look at that.
And an amazing shot from being in the middle. And I can hear the cheer of the crowd.
Yeah, I could see on the drone feed there, I could see Beambo down on the end there, and I saw our rocket squirrel.
Squirrel.
And there he is. There's his teeth, as a matter of fact, right there in the shot.
And just a little hint of light in the sky over there, but it looks really gorgeous on our camera feed.
It really does look gorgeous on the camera feed.
You know, one of the first balloon glows we had here, talking about the old days, when we got to the end of the balloon glow, everyone put down at the same time. And with 300 balloons, with somewhere about 100,000 cubic feet of hot air, all being released at the same time, we created our own weather system.
Our own thermal system,
Our own thermal. All that heat going up to be replaced with the cold air from the side. It was, man, we just got tossed around in that. So you will see some pilots now, they'll stagger their deflations as we go through the night so that we don't create those. The things you learn when you do things for the first time.
Right. Well, and also there are, some of these shapes are more complicated than others.
Yes.
And so they take longer to pack up. So some of the more complicated shapes are usually among the first that will choose to deflate, because it will take them literally longer to deflate the balloon and pack it securely.
Well, all those appendages have their own little vents, which they have to open up and then reseal before once they get the air out, reseal it so it's ready to go tomorrow morning.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all burn.
Oh, and look at the moon. Great shot of the moon. Nice crescent, almost Halloween moon. As we continue to listen to the official radios and the aircraft radio, we have the communications between the plane and the ground and all the activities that are going on here as we coordinate all the things. There's a shot from inside the plane. You can see the purple glow from one of the suits of the jumpers. Have the divers give us a wave. We've got them on the screen.
Lights on. There they are.
There they go. Yay! Look at the thumbs up. They are ready.
They're ready to go. We're ready to watch too. This is an awesome show. If you've not seen this, there's even Tyler's waving at us. All right.
Thank you very much.
Go,
We're waving back from the booth.
Hey, but remember rule number 1: fly the plane, fly the plane, fly the plane.
Fly the plane. And there they
go.
go.
Jumpers away. See, look at all that. Look at that size of that pack on his leg there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there goes another one. So if you look up, you can see the neon lights of the jumpers above. And, of course, we're seeing the helmet cam as well. So we can see what they see of the ground. Oh, there you go.
Look at that. Yeah, there go the fireworks.
Dimitra Dadik and Matt Harvey, the other two jumpers up there. You said those others, those little sparklers were just teasers.
They were. Yeah.
Oh, multiple
look
colors.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Flying formation and the fireworks out to this. That is just.
Oh, wow.
What a shot. What an awesome show.
Team Fast Tracks with their pyrotechnic jump for us. And here comes jumper number 1 into the landing zone. The LZ touchdown.
Yep. Looks like he slid safely into home.
And here comes number 2. And touchdown.
Oh, nice stand-up landing. Nicely
Look at the
done.
wave.
Yeah, wave.
There you go.
There's
and number 3 in the green.
And so this will be
Yulia coming down, coming down with the camera last.
You can see her colleagues there on the ground, those 3 lighted figures.
Kind of making their own there. And down she is.
Yep, touchdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Fast Tracks.
Always such a great show.
Yeah, those guys are absolutely, guys and ladies, absolutely an incredible bunch. And the show they put on adds so much to the evenings out there at Balloon Fiesta. It's been a great addition to have Team Fast Tracks with us.
So I mentioned at the beginning of the show that we thought we had a pop-up glow happening. And we got our camera person there just as they were taking the balloon down because it started getting just a little bit gusty.
Oh, no.
As it is. So we didn't quite get there. But I have intelligence as to where there's going to be a glow tomorrow night and where people are flying. And now that we're hitting Friday tomorrow, the folks are going to have their balloons out in big time force, I think, again this weekend. And so we're ready to get those live pictures back for you. Speaking of tomorrow, you know, we've been doing a 60-minute show in the evening. There is so much video that lines up with tomorrow night. We're going to have to expand the show to 90 minutes tomorrow night.
Okay.
So I'll pay you time and a half for that extra 30 minutes.
Outstanding. So how about double time? Double time times nothing is still double nothing or something.
Well, I was going to say time and a half for you, and we'll put Ranger on the payroll.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, that
so. Send Ranger a staff jacket and a dog and a cat collar.
And a cat collar.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of merchandise, though, I noticed in some of the comments while we were watching that video, some people were having difficulty finding the new bronze pin in the shop. And there was comment, I don't know if it was from you, about refreshing, maybe emptying your cache. One easy way to find it, I discovered, because I was on the shop doing the same thing, is just type in bronze in the search bar.
That
and
works
it'll pop
too.
right up for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's in the, there are categories on the left side of the page, and the Siesta merchandise, Balloon Fiesta Siesta, it's in that category. It pops up there well. But you're right, the search seems to always work. If you can't find it anywhere else, it's there. A number of, there's the categories on the side there. There's all kinds of categories. We added a new kids category today. We talked about it this morning with the watercolors and the color it postcards and those kinds of things. So we're kind of looking through some of the different clothing. We have a very limited edition of clothing here in the studio. There is a lot more options when you go onto the website, as you can see there.
Yeah, and I had looked in the categories first, and in my case, it wasn't popping up either, as the commenter was saying. So I just typed in bronze into the search bar, and it popped right up. So if all else fails, just try that.
And someone else said, hey, the coupon code BF Live didn't save me a whole lot of money. There's the bronze pin right there. Didn't save me a whole lot of money. The code doesn't work on anything with Siesta in it. So the Siesta shirts and the masks and the pins, the code does not work on theirs, but it works on everything else in your cart, or it should work on everything else in your cart. So the I looked at your order, and unfortunately, you bought a lot of Siesta merchandise, which is great, but the code does not work on those pieces there. So as Glenn, you mentioned earlier, the idea here is the only source of income for the 501c3 nonprofit organization, which is the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Our only source of income this year is what we sell on the store. Any sponsorship money, any ticket money that we sold has to be rolled over into next year, and so we can't touch that money until we are able to deliver that service. So this is what's keeping Balloon Fiesta alive. And you know, believe it or not, we're almost, well, Balloon Fiesta, the organization, was formed in 1976 after the first fiesta in 72. We have gone 40-some years, 45 years, without having to make a big deal of being a nonprofit organization and having to go out and say that. We've been self-sustaining for all these years, and it's just the special circumstances of this year that we have had to adjust how we do business a little bit.
Well,
so
we gone
appreciate
all those years. Yeah, we've gone all those years with a live event, and this year we don't have that. We have this live show, but we do not have the live event that people can come to out at Balloon Fiesta Park with the vendors and all the trappings that we have out there. And so there's a reason why we're having to mention that we are a nonprofit organization and why these sales are so critical. And you're right, the Fiesta Siesta merchandise was special ordered once we had made the decision to postpone. And that's one of the reasons why the BF Live code, the discount code or coupon, won't get you a discount on that merchandise, but it will work on most all of the 2020 merchandise and earlier years that was already in inventory.
Exactly, and so we have a great shot of that pin there. I see we can take the new bronze pin revealed just 50 minutes ago. So you're the first ones to see it. We didn't actually do a TV reveal or any of those types of things. You're the first ones to see it. That bronze kind of copper pin right there with the Fiesta balloon and the mask on it. Only 200 of them available. They are only one per person. We suspect that they will sell out like the silver ones and the gold ones did. And this is the final in this series. The idea once we started putting this together, if the gold went well, we would add a silver and a bronze to kind of go with the championships and the competition types of things. So this is the last in the series. If you missed out on the others, now's the time to get the bronze Siesta pin right there. And while you're at it, pick up a Balloon Fiesta Live pin, and you kind of get the relative size there. So some great stuff on the store, and we appreciate you taking a look there. It's balloonfiestastuff.com.
And those that are with us tonight are getting the first look at this new copper pin, or bronze, I'm sorry, and likely we'll be able to get it very easily this evening. But if you wait until tomorrow, once we go on the air again tomorrow morning and it gets exposed to a wider audience, I would expect they'll sell out pretty quickly tomorrow.
I think they will. I think they will. We have on the others. And by the way, if you've been looking for the Fiesta Siesta shirts or masks, new shipments of those came in yesterday and today, so we have replenished those on the store. So if you saw the back order sold out, check back on whatever date. We have restocked our Siesta shirts in most sizes, and the great masks and those types of things, they are all there as well. And as we continue to pan across, some of those shirts have been from previous years, but the one coming into view right there, that red one, we call it the Retro Tee. That's the back of the shirt. There is a logo on the front-hand side as well. This is really the only T-shirt that was made, the only article of clothing really that was made for this year until we did the Siesta one. So there are not lots and lots of different variations of T-shirts. This is the Time Flies 2020 T-shirt. It says the 49th up there in the corner. You can see Time Flies right in the center. And as Lisa was explaining to us this morning, it kind of takes us all the way through from 1972 up to 2020. So if you really want to get the T-shirt, you know, been there, done that, got the T-shirt, this is the T-shirt to have. It's the 2020 T-shirt. It is our Merchandise Monday special today, because we're doing our Merchandise Monday, which we normally do only on Mondays, obviously. We're doing it every single day of Balloon Fiesta. So that's on sale today as well. And the BF Live code will work on that shirt.
And I was glad to see, because I was shopping just before we came on the air tonight, I was glad to see they did that in big man sizes. You know, sometimes I have difficulty finding shirts out there of the larger sizes, and we do have now, I don't know how much inventory we have, but they were in stock when I was looking earlier. So if you wear a larger size, a 2X or a 3X, they were available.
We try and take care of all of those sizes. We do get limited numbers in some of those sizes, as with the extra smalls too. But we limited on those sizes, but we tend to try and stock all the way from extra small up to 4X. Some of that is an issue too of the manufacturer. The shirt we're doing, true. They don't even make it in whatever size. So if we can get those in there, we do.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, you know, if you're a small person and we don't have an extra small, well, you can wear a small or maybe a medium and look okay. But if you're a big guy, you don't want to be wearing, you know, if you wear a 3X, you don't want to be buying an XL or even a large. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, doesn't work that way at all. So we've seen the special shapes get ready. We've seen the special shapes glow. We've seen the pyrotechnics jump. The other thing we end our evening events with is fireworks.
Yeah,
so it's like
fireworks.
It's got a fireworks. We got to have some fireworks. Fireworks show is 20-25 minutes long. We're just going to show you a small taste of what the fireworks look like after a glow at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Just a sample of what fireworks at Balloon Fiesta look like in the evening.
Yeah, that was really just a sampling because the show is really a spectacular show. And it goes for what seems like quite some time before the finale. I usually hear the finale from my hotel room because I tend because we have an early morning call the next day, especially on a weekend with Dawn Patrol. When the fireworks start, I try to get out ahead of the crowd and beat the traffic, unfortunately. But the show is definitely worth, don't do like me, stay for the show because it's well worth seeing. It's incredible.
Well, and then there's that candle line that we just got another shot of there real quick. That's
Yeah.
always I remember the first year they did that, and I was over by that fence as close as you can be without being in the fireworks area. And it was just really incredible. So I wanted to take
the crowd reaction. It was unreal.
It was just fabulous. I just wanted to remind everybody that our shows are archived. You can go back to balloonfiesta.com and pick on the links and watch anything that you've missed. Of course, we've still got 5 more shows to go this week. We hope that tonight has given you the next best thing to Balloon Fiesta being live, and that you'll continue to join us and share us the rest of the weekend as we continue to bring you Balloon Fiesta Live, the Siesta Edition, even though the event itself is postponed.
Yeah, and tomorrow morning is another Special Shapes Day, so we'll see a lot more of those fun shapes in our early morning program, so we hope you'll join us then.
And some great competition footage. Tomorrow night, we've got a 90-minute show because there's just so much stuff in it. I've got another clip of a Special Shapes glow from 30 years ago. So you thought you saw shapes tonight that you hadn't seen in a while? Tomorrow night, we've got footage of those from 30 years ago. So you're going to definitely want to be here tomorrow night. Mr. Glenn, time to call it a night. I will see you in about 11 hours.
I'll see you in the morning.
All right, take care. Good night, everybody. We'll see you too. Bye-bye.
Good night.
You've been watching Balloon Fiesta Live, Siesta Edition, powered by XTO Energy, a subsidiary of ExxonMobil. Always in October and always in Albuquerque, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is the world's premier ballooning event. Make plans now to join us in person in 2021 for the 49th version of Balloon Fiesta. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live. This program is a production of AIBF Inc.